The draft is less than 2 weeks away. Let's go. And Mel Kiper Jr.'s mock 4.0 dropped a few days ago. He has Cam Ward going number 1 to the Titans, Heisman winner Travis Hunter at number 2 to the Browns. The big change, linebacker Abdul Carter jumping up to number 3, landing with the New York Giants. Kevin Clark, what is your guy Cam Ward's ceiling?
Patrick Mahomes. Full stop. No caveats, no anything. You're laughing.
Because it's ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous?
Anytime we make comparisons to the greatest quarterback currently playing for somebody who's never played a down of NFL football, I'm going to have a reaction like that.
When he came into the league thought that Patrick Mahomes was ranked lower than John Ross, who went ahead of him. Solomon Thomas, Corey Davis. He was not Mahomesian when he came into the league. Now he is. Now, Ward is not going to have the best offensive play caller of his generation, not have Tyreek Hill, not have Travis Kelce. I understand that part of it. But when I watch Cam Ward play on a down-to-down basis, I see the best improviser I've seen since Patrick Mahomes. I see a guy who can execute quickly. He can do Superman and he can do Clark Kent. And that is why Patrick Mahomes is so great. He can do the flashes and he can do the simple stuff. To me, he has Mahomes' flaws at the college level. He tried to do too much because he understood how bad his own defense was. He knew he had to play hero ball. That led to some maybe cross-body throws he shouldn't have done. That, to me, tracks as Mahomes. He will be more disciplined in the NFL, and I like the comparison, and I'm sticking with it. You will not bully me out of this.
I won't bully you out of it, but can I maybe sell you on something just a little bit lower than the bar being set as the greatest quarterback currently playing? Can we go Kyler Murray? Kyler Murray, a little bit, like, he can do all this stuff. He can run around, he can scramble, he can make plays on the run. He's got a great arm. He set the single-season passing record, or rather the franchise passing record at Miami, and broke Case Keenum's record for all those touchdowns he threw at Houston. I would like to go a little bit lower than Mahomes for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think everybody's saying this guy's going to be a franchise quarterback. That should be the bar. If you're the number 1 overall pick, you should absolutely be a franchise quarterback.
He will be.
The decision-making, when you bring up like Mahomesian, maybe he was doing a little bit too much, that sometimes reminds me of Kyler Murray. And I think that there's a moment where Cam Ward, in being able to like combine all of the athletic traits, you know, you can think of like how Caleb Williams came into the league, the former number 1 overall pick last year. Those comparisons were null and void. We weren't saying the same things about Caleb Williams that we are with Cam Ward, because I still think that there are holes in his game that we haven't figured out just yet. Kyler Murray is boom or bust it sometimes, and that to me is more Cam Ward than that is Patrick Mahomes.
Damian Woody, your thoughts? Ceiling for Cam Ward?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ben Roethlisberger without the size. I think Ben Roethlisberger, you know, when Ben Roethlisberger was in his prime, what was he? A guy that could improvise, get outside the pocket, make splash plays outside the pocket. I see a lot of that in Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward is phenomenal outside the pocket, improvising, making things happen. And so for me, you know, obviously Big Ben has the element of the size factor and being able to kind of drag people along when people clutched all over him. But I look at Cam Ward as a guy that does a lot of those splash plays that we were accustomed to seeing from Big Ben in his heyday.
Watch how he executes. Go back and watch the second half of some of these games where he executes everything perfectly. Bill Walsh said there's no such thing as clutch. There's just executing normally when everybody starts to lose their heads. When everybody else starts to lose their heads, Cam Ward is a 12-yard gain, a 19-yard gain. He hits these guys. There's a play against Cal where he points to the 12th man on the field so the ref sees that they can throw a flag on Cal, and then he hits a true freshman with a dart on one of the biggest plays of the season when they were on 25 points at one point in that game. They won that on the final drive of the game. Louis Riddick and I are the only two people who are comparing Patrick Mahomes to Cam Ward. The surprise is not that we're doing it. The surprise is that we're the only two at this point. That's what's surprising to me. I am 10 toes down for this. I have not felt this strongly about a prospect in a long time. Cam Ward is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL early in his career. Not next year, not this time next year, early in his career, in his rookie contract. We're going to be talking about him. The last 4 quarterbacks to lead the NFL to lead a college in offensive efficiency. Jayden Daniels is in that mix. C.J. Stroud is in that mix. Caleb Williams is in that mix. And then Cam Ward. That's the rarefied air he's in. That's the rarefied air.
So you're doing, like, I have no interest in speaking negatively about Cam Ward because I also think he's going to be really good. But in order for you to make the Patrick Mahomes comp, Kevin, and you're saying he's going to be that good in his rookie contract, which means year one is a pass no matter what if we're doing the Mahomes comparison. But he had the opportunity to learn behind Alex Smith. Cam Ward likely will not have that behind Will Levis.
Are you saying Will Levis is not a great mentor? I'm joking.
Okay. In year two, if I'm not mistaken, Patrick Mahomes had 50 touchdowns, played the AFC Championship game, lost in overtime in the ultimate passing of the torch game against New England. That was the most significant game, arguably, of the last decade in the NFL because of the passing the torch, right? So that means in year two he would do that, and that means within the first 5 or 6 years of his career, he will have 3 Super Bowl championships.
It's not a one-to-one comparison.
You just made
You just said he was Patrick Mahomes.
I said his ceiling is Patrick Mahomes, and I think he is the most Mahomesian prospect since Mahomes. Am I sitting there saying he's going to marry Brittany Mahomes and he's going to have his brother named Jackson Mahomes? No, I'm not saying he's going to have the same situation. I'm saying he has the capability and will be the player that is the most Mahomesian since Mahomes.
So if he doesn't win 1 Super Bowl in his rookie contract, is that a disappointment?
You can clown me all you want. No, I'm serious. This is the bar. If he doesn't at least get to a Super Bowl, change the Titans franchise in his rookie contract, please clown me. That's the standard. He will not win 3 Super Bowls in his rookie contract. He will not have the floor will not be the AFC title game because again, all of the
Wait, you didn't answer the question. If he doesn't win a Super Bowl in his rookie contract, is that a disappointment?
For me, for the comp I'm doing, you can clown me. It would be a disappointment for the standards I am setting for him on this segment right now.
You're consistent on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the way, if he's Kyler Murray, that's a disappointment.
I agree with.
I'm not willing.
I'm just saying.
Kyler Murray's had a lot of good flashes throughout his career.
For a number 1 overall pick.
Correct, but I do think. I mean, when you think about the RPO game and the elusiveness, what Damian Woody was talking about, how good he is in and outside of structure, I think he can do all of those things. Can he do it at a Patrick Mahomes level just yet? I'm not willing to go there.
As if that wasn't enough from Kevin Clark. I hear you have a hot take on Travis Hunter too.
Well, I mean, geez, are we not hot taked out? No. For me, for Hunter, I think that everybody was talking earlier in the draft cycle about Shedeur. Should he control where he's going? Is Deion going to control? And, if anybody's going to control where he's going to go, it's going to be the guy whose career hinges most on what the plan is for him. And to me, that's Travis Hunter. And I think that he should really play hardball with these teams and maybe not pull a Eli, John Elway and say, I'm not playing for you, but he should really be able to shape where he goes based on the plan a team lays out for him. I think that you talked about a guy who could conceivably play as many snaps as possible on offense and defense. I don't know what he wants to do. It sounds like he's open to doing everything. And also, by the way, kind of being an Ohtani type. I'm not going to compare him to Ohtani after what I did with Ward and Mahomes, but I'm sitting here thinking he should be able to play as many snaps as he wants on both sides of the ball. And to me, I want to see a GM and a coach sit down with him and say, this is how we're going to use you. He has to be comfortable. He should have a lot of say in this and maybe try to dictate where he goes.
Damian?
Yeah, listen, I think that it will be tough because of the positions that he plays. I think usually the one position we talk about that has that type of flex is quarterback, obviously. Here's what I will say about Travis Hunter and playing both ways. I absolutely agree that I think this young man should be given every opportunity to play both ways. We also have to think about the level of competition that this young man is going to see. I mean, think about it. When he plays cornerback, and I think, by the way, he could be a Hall of Fame cornerback in this league, like right out the gate. He could be that type of guy. But he's going to be facing Justin Jefferson. Okay, he's going to be facing Jamar Chase. All of these elite wide receivers right